up, SNA Assassinator? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And this is the NXT review video, the go-home show before Stand and Deliver, as a matter of fact. And yeah, we got some pretty interesting elements for build things up for the biggest spectacle of NXT of the year for NXT, I should say. And we found out like who's gonna be the last two participants that's gonna be in the women's ladder match. They qualified tonight, and we also got a number one contender for the NXT Tag Team Championships. We also got a hype up for the into a brawl with the three men that's gonna fight for the NXT Championship, and then the one stand up tall that looked like an underdog favorite was the one to do so, holding the NXT title, which it has me thinking like, are they still gonna is this wrestler still gonna is gonna be the one to win it, or do you think this is like that same old statistic? Because like they say, like 9 times out of 10, which it could be the one, it's gonna be like that a very rare number one out away from that 9, like I mean away from the perfect 10 of making the statistic true. And maybe we could see the complete opposite that could happen. Let me know down in the comment section right down below about it. But yeah, and we got more to talk about. We even got the women that's gonna be involved in this fatal 4-way match. Will indeed that will indeed gonna be fighting over for the Stephanie Vaquer's NXT Women's Championship. Have their fair share of vignettes, which I'm gonna get into later on as well. And we also found out what exactly Roxanne Perez is going to be doing at Stand and Deliver, and much more. Make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell before I start the show. I'm going to start the review on what happened on tonight's edition of NXT. And I will be doing, by the way, a post review, what's it called? Prediction segment on who do I think is going to win these respective matches. Oh, and also we got the number one contender for the NXT North American Championship, which I believe this feud's going to continue even after Stand and Deliver. That's probably only my opinion. But yeah, and make sure to check out my other channel at SNA Entertainment, which I will be doing another back-to-back animation and movie news video. Just wait and stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's get into the first match of the night, which was a fatal 4-way number one contender match for the North American Championship, which Ricky Saints joined commentary with the likes of Corey Graves, Vic Joseph, and Booker T. And this where then the guys involved was none other than Wesley, All Ego, Ethan Page, Lexus King, and what's his name? Eddie Thorpe. Yeah. But it's where they start going at it. This is where we got Lexus King was surrounded by everybody, even less Wesley. This is where we got Wesley pushes Lexus King right into Eddie Thorpe. This is where he got his wife kicked right into the midsection, which I believe this guy's the baby face, unless he's a heel like the others. But yeah, he was getting tumbled either way by the fellow heels that were in this number contenders match. You need to. But yeah, anyways, this is where they start hitting their chops and kicks and strikes right on. This is where then they were taking turns, like with what's the name? With Wesley hitting the drop kicks and step up in Sagiri, and we got what's the name hitting the leg swipe kicks, and then we got Ethan Page getting hit the right strikes. This is where they decided to throw Alexis King out of there, just get rid of dead weight, and then it could be and then they start taking each other out one by one, which they shook each other's hands only for Ethan Page to attack Wesley from behind. I'm like, yeah, one thing you don't do is trust the All Ego. But it's where then we got Eddie Thorpe start going after, start attacking with leg strikes, right? Swipe strikes right onto Ethan. This is where we got what's the name? Eddie Thorpe. Then the ducks out of a clothesline by Wesley. This is where he hit the German suplex, then right to the diagonal side and the bottom right side where they were at, which Eddie and Ethan was in the upper left. This is where we tried to go back to Ethan, but this is where we got Eddie then got clobbered by Alexis King. Well, or no. He tried to attempt to go for a clothesline, but it's where he hits a running knee, but he almost got him for the win to be number one contender, only for the All Ego one then interfered and started hitting some right forearm strikes. This is where then we got Ricky Saints then and was wondering who could be his challenger. This is where Vic Joseph thought he was worrying, which they all agreed to just disagree because what's the name? Ricky Saints I don't worry about anything. because I am the absolute. And then this is where then Vic Joseph was like, well, like I'm like, even though I have a different opinion on that, but we can all agree with most half of things like on this commentary desk. So you got a right to think so got Ethan Page go for step up into Gary, goes for a double foot stomp on the back. This is where then we also got Wesley hit a forearm strike right onto Ethan Page, hit a kick right in the midsection. Then he goes for a scissors kick right onto the All Ego one, hitting him back first because, yeah, he's been having issues back there, but still don't make excuses like that Immortal guy. But this is where we got Wesley try to go for an attack onto Lexus King. Lexus King move out of the way. He hits right into the corner set. Thorpe did the same. They hit right on top of Wesley. This is where Ethan Page then tried to go for attack, but he ends up getting super kicked right across the face. This is where we got this is where Lexus King then goes to the right corner slide. Then he tried to go for the spear, but this is where Wesley leap dodges. Then we got Wesley that ends up going for is where then he went right up into Ethan Page's side, stomped right in the midsection, only for him to get wide kicked by Eddie Thorpe. Wesley then counters to go for a wrist lock. Then he goes for this is where he gets thrown right into the right corner slide. This is where we got Ethan Page pulled down. This is where him and Wesley trying to. He kind of close on Ethan Page out, but it's where he ends up getting flipped right to the right side. Wesley kicks what's his name? Eddie Thorpe right to the right. We try to grab him on his legs where Ethan Page hit that right-legged side face breaker, flips him right back in the ring when he had him draped onto the ropes. Then this is where got Ethan Page try to go for a pin, only for Wesley to deny him at a 2.3. This is where then we got the All Ego former NXT champion try to go for a powerbomb, only for what's that Lexus King to try to go for the top rope. But this is where then anyway, try to go for an avalanche suplex on the Lexus King, but Lexus King wouldn't let him have it. This is where he goes for a right hand. This is where we got what's his name? This is where we got Eddie Thornton came up there with him. This is where they try to go for a double suplex onto what's his name? To Wesley. This is where not Wesley, it was Lexus King. That's where then we got Wesley was underneath him, like getting ready to go for a double powerbomb onto both of these guys. Hit a Tower of Doom in the process. This is where them both men were down. This is where I believe the powerful no. It's where them. This is where Wesley tried to go for a pin. He probably got away with it if it wasn't for the meddling ego maniac. And this is where then he needs him. He walks on to the side. This is where then it was Wesley and Eddie Thorpe going at it, playing the most slowest wrestling tennis that I've ever seen. But at the same time, it still made it a bit snappy, though, in the way they did some strikes. Like with Wesley, it's the forearm strikes. And then we got Eddie Thorpe did a multi-combo by hitting the right hand, the uppercut, and the leg sliding kick. This is where then we got Eddie Thorpe then tried to close him out of the ring, but this is where Ethan Page came from behind, hits a German suplex onto Eddie. This is where we got what's his name? Wesley hit a pump kick. This is where we got Ethan Page throws him out of the ring into the right side. This is where Wesley then tried to go for a suicide dive, which Wesley did to Lexus King, which he threw him right to the upper right corner's barricade. This is where I got Eddie Thorpe started hitting face first, hitting Eddie Thorpe face first, but it's where Eddie put foot right, put his hand before his face did. This is where he elbows him. This is where then Eddie Thorpe tried to push him right into Ricky Saint's corner, but this is where he tried to go for a boot right into his face. Thank you so much for the compliments. Even though NXT used to have been this color, but now they're all silver. But if I get like a silver mask and cape, I will indeed be wearing that from now on. But this is where we got Anyway, Eddie Thorpe tried to go for a pump kick, but this is where this is where then Ricky Saints was like whoa. This is where then Ethan Page then turned into a troublemaker, pushes Eddie right into him. This is where then Ricky Saints like, oh, I see what you did. What's that all about? This is where he started going off on him. This is where the referee's like, oh, yo, calm down. Like, go. And this is where the referee then ejects what's his name, Ricky Saints, and I understand why he's the one that's being shouted at and like paying the repercussions when he's not the one that started them. And I guess he's trying to be the peacemaker, but the way he said it, like if he's the troublemaker, and that's where And that this is why I see what wrestlers are talking about referees. They're the most, and even wrestling specialists, like my fellow YouTubers would say, they're the most blind or the most distracted and most, I'd say, gullible figures in all of wrestling. If I say it very correctly, that's why I don't trust them. But anyway, that's a different video for a different day. But this is where it got a powerful force in all the professional wrestling and came. This is where then that's where Ethan Page then hitting, no, Eddie Thorpe started making the comeback by hitting these strikes on the Ethan Page and other move sets onto the fellow contenders. This is where we got Eddie Thorpe to go up right at the top rope. Lexus King has a foreign European uppercut. This is where he trying to go for some type of avalanche maneuver. Like, this is where he ends up in the forearm strike. He's like, you know what? I have a better idea. Like, I'm gonna take it the easy way out in order to give me a title shot on the road to Las Vegas. This is where Ethan Page try to go for an electric chair while in a DDT onto what's his name, on the Eddie Thorpe. This is where that this is where the Vic Joseph described the whisper in the wind that what's his name, Wesley, shockingly did say that's the most damnest one he ever seen. This this is where then this is where then what's the name, Vic Joseph corrected him, was like, that was not a whisper in the ring, that was a full blown like whatever dive it's called, which I can tell because they muted out the audio because there were fans are chanting holy sugar honey iced tea. This is where then we got but this is where we got what's his name. Then we got the win, Alexis King. But this is where Eddie Thorpe then to go for an elbow drop, right? With him meddling around. Then Eddie Thorpe trying to hit the impelling DDT or the no insurance, but until he gets meteored by Wesley. I'm like, what is up with these? With guys like these, like now hit moves like that certain wrestler that's about to be competing in their, yeah, I mean, yeah, in their home city, which I'm not sure if I should give it out at this time. But this is where we got Ethan Page that ends up hitting what's that, the twisted grin, that's what he calls it, which was similar to the twist of fate, which he got the 1-2-3 by pinning Lexus King, winner of this match and new number one contender for Ricky Saints' North American Championship, and that is Ethan Page. I give this a massive, a massively huge, what's it called? Congratulations. And I'll say because of this match, I'll say maybe the silver trophy, perhaps, like given that the tag team gauntlet match was very, I'll say unexpectedly, entertaining. So it's getting the golden trophy. Well, the silver trophy goes to this one. This is where then Ethan Page is like, yeah, like y'all were not expecting me to be the one to win it, huh? That's where fans are like, yeah, you have a point. This is where he's like, yeah, I'm a number one contender now. Like, and he's like, Ricky Saints, I know I'm not the guy that you wanted to, the want me to win tonight. You got this is where he's like, yeah, like I don't blame you because everybody remembered it first. And I was like, I wonder, like, what do you mean by saying that? I mean, I think his first match was against, what's his name? As a matter of fact, Ethan Page, but it was in a tag team match with him and Ridge Holland against Saints and what's his name, Javon Evans. But didn't they fought like in the other company before? I believe so. But yeah. That's a good question, but that's gonna be a conversation for a different day. This is where Ethan Page like, yeah, like it is where it's like you're forgetting like I had a championship victory won WWE. Like, yeah, but it was all ruined by Ethan Page. And I know he's like, no, he's like I got my championship. But I don't want to talk about how I lost it, but I can tell you like that you're about to lose your championship, and it's gonna be courtesy by All Ego Ethan Page. Oh, like he did he was basically just roasting Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns yesterday about like just saying that like Paul Heyman don't have to give CM Punk a favor. Like he can it's not favors are not chances, those are choices. Like which he chose to help out his they're trying to pay back the favor by his partner, like not like because he needs to or whatever. Yeah. which to start off with both him, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk start going at it, start beating the daylights out of each other, which I showed on my podcast as well on the video, of it, like it was posted on their X account. But anyways, this is where we got back to the NXT review videos where Ethan Page and continues. This is where it's like when I do beat you at Stand and Deliver, I promise you, anytime, any place, anywhere, for a title shot for that exact same championship. I was like, I think he spoke too soon. Be like, here comes the absolute wrestler coming out right in front of him. This is where he went right inside, went towards the top corner side, hits him with this absolute spear out of nowhere, which he made famous even other places. Took off his vest, looking like a I'll say mid-card version of NXT mid-carder version of that Dwayne guy that's now the final boss. Oh yeah, that's what we call him, The Rock. Okay, I'm just kidding. But yeah, anyway, that's where Ricky Saints hold on to that championship. Showing that he's the absolute, and I was like, maybe this is where we see, that Ethan Page might be onto something, because normally, like when somebody stands up tall before the paper, yeah, okay, no problem. But yeah, let me know down in the comments down below about that, and let's move on to Jordan Grace. But before I get into that, I'm gonna hurry up and grab my nephew something real fast. Give me for a minute. Where's the program? Put these shorts on. Sure. What put your Spider-Man shirt on? Spider-Man. Let's put these on. You gotta put these on. Like your grandpa would say. Yeah, you can't go out in the public looking like that. It's illegal. What's wrong with it? I didn't get so picky on me. Stop it. Oh. Real good. Here you go. We put this on first. Trade. Oh, this part of the shirt on. Thank you so much, Bertie. airports out here. Okay, assassinators, I'm back here. Let's get back to the Jordan Grace. Here's where Jordan Grace did show that what you see the girl known as the Juggernaut, like WWE Universe, like and the TNA and former TNA Knockouts champion. Like that's not how I started as greatness and as a complete success. And this is where then she showed like when she was younger, like that she was never been scouted or never had that type of star power aura. Like she never been like a beauty queen in the business. Like she was like, and if you can describe anything negative aura in the description, that was pretty much me. That's what she basically said about it. She was not. She just pretty much said like she was not like a women's wrestler that was born with a golden or silver spoon. Yeah, I could do that. But anyways, okay, don't turn off the volume. Anyways, like this is where Jordan Grace basically said that she was not born with a silver spoon in her mouth, and this is what she was like. She was like, out within the world that thing that didn't built for me. Treyu, stop doing that. But this is where then the one thing that stop playing like that. Jeez. Okay, anyways, this is where then we got Jordan Grace is like, so I finally stopped wishing like what I was supposed to have and started building what I could do, like in order to get to that level. This is what and then this is where then Jordan Grace is like the one thing that I did have, like is like everything that like the one thing that I can do in wrestling is self-awareness, like and this where then and this is where she was like, she wants the WWE Universe to say, like, yeah, like saying, like, yeah, like the women in WWE are doing it, but also have you imagined the women in TNA, including Jordan, what they're doing the work over there? Like, yeah, that's what I want. Like, that's the Jordan Grace that I want to be. Like, and he's like, and I did the works that no one can ignore me. Like, I put myself in the court, right? And I believe that everybody that I believe in the Juggernaut, like I believe in myself. And now, the biggest turtle is right in front of me. Like, when I have the opportunity this Saturday to become the NXT World Champion, I stand and deliver. And this is where we move on to the next slide. Like, but before I get to it, I want to tell you, like, what was your thoughts onto this? Stop doing that. But it's where we got but let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on this little I'll say history background with Jordan Grace and this. Stop doing that. Hey. Yeah. Stop doing that now.
Wait, come on, hurry, gotta go to the store. They're gonna close.
All right, see you when I come back. Well, yeah, let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts on this little mini history about what's her name? Jordan Grace, and do you think she's gonna be the one that's gonna become the new NXT Women's Championship? Man, in my opinions, I don't think that's gonna happen, but that doesn't mean that's not gonna be the fact that she probably will have a chance of winning. But I'm gonna let you guys to give that decision down below. But that's where we got Tatum Paxley, like then we do us in a match against Lola Vice. Winner gets the 5th place spot on the on the what they call the NXT Women's North American Championship ladder match, but that's where then the referee ring the bell. That's where then he got Tatum Paxton did not waste no time by going for the most devastating move in all of pro wrestling, the schoolgirl roll up. But that's where Lola Vice immediately kicked out at one even, trying to go for a roundhouse kick. But Tatum Paxton was not stupid because she dodges out of the way, which was probably the most smartest maneuver that she could have possibly ever done. That's where Tatum Paxton ducks, try to go for like some kind of a waist lock. This is where then got Lola Vice counter and go for a back to belly maneuver of her own. This is where then she slams Tatum right into to the ground. This is where we got. This is where she was telling what's the name Tatum to the surrender. Like this is where then we got Tatum Paxley was like, "No, I'm not gonna surrender." I know, like, not an opportunity to become my first women's championship, even though it's not the world championship, but it's the next best thing, which is the North American. This is where did she go for a moonsault, flips right over what's her name? Jordan. I'm not Jordan, I'm talking about Lola Vice, but this is where Lola Vice got up, got into the sideways face. But it's where Tatum Paxton started going for a wrist lock, kneeing the left shoulder of the Latina Heat. This is where then she then turned. This is where when she got done like kneeing her right into the arm. This is where she flipped over, bridging the elbow and the whole arm right into the right side until we got what's her name, Lola Vice started going for a triangle choke. This is where you can barely hear the commentators when the fans are chanting. One half was chanting for Lola, the other half was chanting for Tatum. This is where then we got Tatum going for a pin, but Lola kicked out at like 2.2. This is where she hits a big old right hand right into the midsection by Tatum Paxton. This is where she got to go for a headlock. This is where she slams her right into the what they call what was it? The canvas is where she started going for sleeper hold only for like we got Tatum Paxton somehow to get right back up from it. This is where we got. Here's where she gets thrown to the right corner side. This is where she does where the Tatum Paxton try to go for a right elbow, only for what's her name, Lola Vice. Then dodges out of the way. This is where she got her in the sleeper hold, only for her to get thrown to the right side. This is where then she hits. This is where then Lola Vice then ran to the left. She immediately intercepted before Tatum Paxton hit any move to the sideways spine buster. This is where we got. That's where we got Tatum Paxton start going underneath the ring. But that's where Lola Vice try to pull her right out of it. This is where she gets pushed right in the corner. This is where they got GD Dope. That's where what's her name? All you can hear is Gigi Dolan start saying, like, "Yeah, my girl Tatum is gonna defeat you, and she's gonna be the one that's gonna." And then my girl Tatum's gonna beat you, and she's gonna defeat, and she's gonna be added into that women's ladder match. Like, I hate to break it to you, Lola. So Lola then ignores you, like whatever. Like, all right, I'm think of two good reasons not to argue with you, but it's where we got her trying to pull for Tatum Paxton, but Tatum Paxton then turned the tables by pulling her, and she hits shoulder first, which what's her name? Gigi Dolan was like, yeah, see, told you, like you're not like better than my girl Gigi. I mean, our girl Tay Tay, I should say. And no, I'm not talking about the Swifty leader herself, which is Taylor Swift. But anyways, this is where we got this is where she took advantage of this moment of using the wounded arm of Lola Vice as a stepping stone to be back be right onto the offensive side. But once you got done with the partial adverts, it's where it was like a back and forth situation. But still, Tatum Paxton was just going crossbody and spear, which I believe the powerful force is somewhat probably partially a fan of Tatum Paxton because she only was on top like halfway, like when they came back on in the after the partial adverts. But it's where got Lola Vice got her knees up when we got what's your name? Tatum Paxton trying to go for a crossbody. This is where then she go for a roundhouse kick. Just she's gonna go for legs right, like with these stripes. Like if strikes, like if she's her own version of a Latina Naomi, I guess you could say. Edward and Lola Vice then they started doing their little hip dance because she is the Latina Heat, which I believe it must have somehow like got Booker T's attention for maybe not all of the right reasons. But it's where then she hits the hip attack right onto Tatum Paxley, right with that hip attack, which he kind of looked timeless for doing that. But this is where then she tried to go for a pin, but only for Tatum Paxley. Get the left shoulder up. You got. That's where Tatum was like, nope, still not kicking out. This is where we got Tatum Paxton started going making a comeback. It's where she puts Lola White right now, but right. It's where we start hearing the back and forth chants from half the fans, like chanting Lola, and then have a chant for Tatum. Like yet again, this is where then we got Tatum Paxley go for a step up into Giri. Well, we got Lola Vice was still standing, trying to go for a flying maneuver, but this is where she was about to get avalanche by the doll collector herself. This is where then we got Tatum then ends up trying to go for a suplex, which she amazingly did, by the way. This is where she tried to go for a pin, but this is where it only got her at 2.7. This is where we got Tatum Paxley that ends up trying to go for another move, but only like once she got thrown right to the left, what's that called, the left corner side apron. This is where then we got what's her name, got Lola Vice and trying to recollect and connect what's her name, Tatum Paxley, only for her to get double hands right onto her neck. But this is where once we got Tatum Paxley got back in the ring, but like by a springboard maneuver, this is where Lola Vice did a super kick right in the midsection, looking similar to like the heartbreak hit. I just followed up with a spinning back fist. This is where then Lola Vice got the 1, 2, 3, and Lola Vice will indeed join the likes of Kalani Jordan, Zarya, and what's her name? Zarya, what's her name? Lola Vice will join Zarya, Jordan, Kalani Jordan, and what's her name? And Soruka and Izzy Dane, which we only got one more to go, which it was between Carmen Petrovic and Thea Hale, which is the returning Thea Hale from which we haven't seen her for a little while, like for a few months, and yeah, we've been teasing that she could be back in a faction that she's been well familiar with. But like that's gonna be later on. We're gonna be talking about. Let me know in the comment section right down below. And what was your thoughts on this win? Do you think this the best the predetermined decisions from WWE to go by? Let me know in the comment section right down below. Lola Vice and start doing that little pose that you normally do. Like say like yeah, she's ready. But this is where we got Kalani Jordan then to start poking fun at Zarya, both Zarya and Soul Ruka, especially Soul Ruka, by saying that, oh, you really think you're gonna win that Women's North American Championship? Like you couldn't even beat me when the last time we were in a ladder match. Like, and yeah, that's true because like about 10 months ago, which I remember like it was yesterday. I still have my other channel at Super Ninja Austin 213 that I remember talking about that on that review video in particular. But things could change and probably just about in the next 4 days if what's her name Sol Ruka could do the unthinkable. But let me know in general who do you think is going to win. But it's where we got Izzy Dane start making fun of the Claudia Joe. Like, oh, you got a lot of things to talk about. I used to like the old you, with you being friendly and whatnot. But now you just think that you were like the center of attention now, like with your arrogant attitude, basically. Like and by the way, you're not going to be winning that Women's Ultimate Championship because that's going home with me with the what they're called the what they called the what's the name of that faction she's with Sean Spears and with Sean Spears, Nick Vance, and Brooks Jensen. The Culling, yeah. He's going on with me and the Culling family, which this is where they got into a little argument like about it. This is where we got But this is where we got a vignette with Julia saying like she's like the beautiful man, but she's like Jordan like Jordan and Jada like the obstacles in my way, and same with Stephanie Vaquer. That's what she did say with her own words. Like, and this is where she's like, that's the reason why she attack every single woman into that path. Like, I believe she's denying all claims that she is turning heel, but no doubt that she will be a heel. Like, if that's the direction WWE's going by. That's what she like. The goal is to win the NXT Women's Championship. That's what she did at New Year's Evil. Well, until she lost a few weeks ago, when they were at Roblox. When they were in what's that called? Roadblock at what's that called? What's that place? Madison Square Garden. But this is where she's like. But now Steph doing like two close friends. Like now going back as rivals, and I demand a rematch. And this is where then like that stand deliver. I will introduce myself as the same Julia that came here like a year ago and signed with WWE. Like, but I'm not just no ordinary rookie. Like this year, I'm gonna be walking in as the challenger, but I will walk out as a new two-time NXT Women's Champion, which probably is the who held the title twice. I'll say, are they the fourth ever woman to do so? If I'm mistaken, yeah. But anyways, excuse me. This is where the show Trick Williams then came out with his car, and this is where then he went inside, which I wonder like what's he gonna be doing like when he get the time for the talk on a segment like in the ring tonight. But let's say we basically saw that, but this is where we move on. This is where we got all the women that were this is where every woman that wanted a second was planning on getting a second chance shot, like Lash Legend, a Fallon Henley, and even other fatal influence, like other fatal influence girls and the meta girls, other meta girl, Jakar Jackson was trying to get an opportunity, and we got and JG Dolan did the same, and then we got Roxy Brother. Like no, like the first person that should get a shot like of a second chance is the woman that's the leader of this division of the women's revolution of NXT, and this was like, and that is me, the project, like that's awesome. And that's awesome for you, Ava. This is where Ava's like, oh yeah, that's perfect. This is where she was sarcastic. Ava, and this is where she was like, oh, like if your journey to the main roster on SmackDown this past Friday against Tiffany wasn't enough for you, like yeah, you decided to come back here and try to kiss my rear end. Like and tell you what, like you get and this is where she was like, and she was like, if you want to if you can find yourself a tag team partner by the end of the night, like then we could definitely can turn this into a fatal four way. And and this is where then what's her name? And this is where Roxanne brother, you know like how to mess things up, can you? And this is where Roxanne Perez then was very upset about it, but and I'm not sure if she's gonna be in the women's what's that called, the ladder match. But I think they have her in the match, like which it's some fatal four way match. Which I'm wondering what exactly this fatal four way is. But moving on, we got a tag team gauntlet match, which I'm giving it the Golden Trophy. I just thought the tag teams did a very phenomenal job. But I was surprised, like who was the winner of this night. Though I'm like, wow, like I would probably not expected this, even if I wanted to. Like given that their underrated nature, I guess you could say. But But yeah, like the one thing that you gotta think about, like you never say never, even if it's a team that you would never thought that would make it into the make it in a division like NXT, which they starting to have that main roster status of prestige. But it's where we got things start off with Tyson DuPont and Tyree Igwe, like against Hank Walker and Tank Ledger. And I did not like I don't know how this tag team one of the tag teams in this match made it all the way. But anyways, let's get into it. We got Tank Ledger against what's his name? Tyree Igwe. This is where they're gonna end up taking in Tyson DuPont. This is where he try to go for a closer. This is where he try to go for a pin, but this is where we got Tank Ledger going for a kick out at 2.1. That's where we got Tyson that throws what's his name? Hank right into the Tank right into the bottom right side in his corner. This is where he goes, dips what's his name? Tyson then right into the left side. Where Hank we go for a shoulder tackle onto him. This is where he get. That's where Hank Walker did a shoulder tackle of his own right on to Tyson DuPont. This is where we got Tank Ledger, the springboard right forearm strike to Tyreek Igwe. This is where they hit their belly tackles of meet in the middle. Like this is where they hit the power slam, the shoulder tackle maneuver, like shoulder block, I should say, with Tank Ledger does the shoulder block, and then Hank Walker at the power slam. They easily got a 1-2-3 by eliminating Tyreek Igwe and Tyson DuPont. My damn, it just did so fast too. But we got the next challengers, which it was Brooks Jensen and Nico Vance, which they started clashing and brawling for a little while until like 5 seconds later. This is where Brooks Jensen somehow shockingly and geniusly like told Nico Vance was like, Oh wait, this is a tag team match. So how in order for us to get a shot at the tag team championship, I should be on the same page, which that's where they end up. All right, so we gotta just do what we need to do in order to get the outcome. This is where then we got. This is where we got Brooks Jensen start taking turns, start trying to lay out the lights of Hank Walker. But this is where Hank Walker countered and Irish whipped him to the diagonal side, the upper right side. Then went to the left side, gets tagged in by what's his name? Tank Ledger. This is where he goes to splash on him. This is where we got Hank Walker then hits a backdrop right into the midsection. This is where they goes for a splash. They start taking splashes right onto both Nico Vance and Brooks Jensen, with one on the upper right, the other in the bottom left. This is where they try to go for their belly meet in the middle maneuver, which that's what they did to, what was it, Tyreek Igwe, or was it Tyson DuPont? But this is where we got Hank Walker that lifted up by Tank Ledger because he got double heavy arms. This is where he lifted up Hank Walker. Leg drops him right in the middle of the floor. This is where he told Tank Ledger to capitalize, only for him to only get a 2-point, what was it? A near fall of a 2-point, what was it? 2. This is where we go. Tank Ledger then ends up going for a headlock onto what's his name? Onto Nico Vance until he got tossed around by him. This is where he tags in what's his name? That's where he tags in. What's his name? Brooks Jensen is where he was right into the right corner apron. Like this is where we got Nico Vance was facing what's his name? Tank Ledger right on the announce table, which we saw the commentary of Booker T, Vic Joseph, and what's his name, and Corey Graves said that. This is where he hits the running bulldog while Nico Vance hit a face that electric chair face, but right on the announce table. This is where I with Hank Walker, I think it's This is where we got what's his name? Brooks Jensen was trying to go for like a little cobra clutch right onto Hank Walker. This is where Hank Walker decided to do a baseball slide. This is where we got Nathan Frazier and Axiom was watching in their little TV monitors, like in their locker room, to see who's their next number one contenders and challengers. Like, but this time it's stand delivered. This is where we got Nico Vance start continuously stomping onto what's his name, to Brooks. Hank Walker. This is where he started some right hand in the midsection. This is where Nico Vance then started. It's like, what are you gonna do about it? This is where we got Tank Ledger was like, there's nothing that you can do about it. This is where then. But anyway, we go. Nico Vance gave a little bit of a scream. This is where, like, of rage, I guess you could say. This is where he tried to. That's where we got Brooks Jensen then trying to distract the referee, so the tag won't be officially made by what's his name, Tank Ledger. This is where once he gets tagged in, this is where the referee saw. You're like, hey, well, once you get back in the ring, this is where he's like, even if you did got the tag, I didn't see it. This is where we got Nico Vance then picks up Hank Walker with Brooks Jensen trying to go for that flying power slam with Nico. This is where, but when the referee got to go for a pin, this is where we got. This is where we got Hank Walker still in it by kicking out at 2.8. This is like, I gotta tag you in. This is where he tried to go for a suplex while Brooks Jensen tried to go up to the top rope in a crossbody maneuver. Only for Hank Walker to go for a suplex onto Nico Vance, but this is where Nico's partner, Brooks Jensen, ends up pushing pushing Nico right back in where he was to go for a suplex. That's where Hank Walker flips right out of it, tags in Tank Ledger. This is where we got Nico Vance tags in what's his name, Brooks Jensen. This is where we start hitting cold up, boom, boom, and this is where then he then go for shoulder attack, go for left side, then go, and this is where he goes over Brooks Jensen when he goes slide ducking. He clotheslines Nico Vance right into the outside. Then he Brooks Jensen trying to go for clothesline, only for what's his name to take Ledger hit a belly to belly suplex on him. That's where then we got Nico Van trying to go for clothesline. He hits him with the right hand. Then we got what's his name? What's his name? What's his name? Tank Ledger then shoulder tackles him. Cartwheel dodges out of what's his name? Brooks Jensen's clothesline. This is where he tried to go for a pin. This is where he probably would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for the meddling glorified bodyguard of the culling. And this is where then we got Hank Walker trying to throw him out, but this is where he ends up getting countered by Nico. This is where I thought this was going to be kind of the end of this very unstoppable, underrated team of Hank and Tank, but that would end up not happening because Tank Ledger flips over Nico, only for Brooks Jensen to go for the most devastating move in all of pro wrestling, which is the surprise roll-up. But that's where Tank Ledger tried to charge at Brooks Jensen, only for him to leap dodge and hits face first right into Tina Turnbuckle. He hits a spinning heel wheel kick. Like, yeah, that rhymes, so definitely true. But this is where then we got what's his name? Nico Vance picks up what's name Tank Ledger into electric chair position, but it's where Nico thought that Brooks Jensen hit that like a face plant maneuver only until he did not know in the last minute when that Tank Ledger counter and hit some kind of a boss man slam, but it was too late because Hank Walker pulls on his legs and sent him right in the outside. Is where we got a 1-2-3 eliminating Nico Vance and Brooks Jensen, which they couldn't believe it. Is where we got the next teams of the No Quarter Catch Crews, Tavion Heights, and what's his name? And what's her name? Miles Bourne. And despite them cleaning house, and that's what they basically did, they just wiped everybody else that was in the way. This is where I was I see what everybody's talking about Miles Bourne trying to look like the Viper himself, Randy Orton. I'm like, maybe he should be the next opponent, for Orton to replace Kevin Owens. But that's a different video for a different day. This is where we saw Tavion Heights picks up what's his name? Tank Ledger hits a Death Valley driver, looks way too similar to a man that's light tone skin did himself, but he got a lot more hair. But yeah. This is where we try to go for a pin, but this is where we only got a near fall of 8. This is where we got. But this is where we got. This is where we got Tavion Heights dips. Tank Ledger right to the right side to the left side. Him hits the clothesline onto But this is where we got. This is where we got Tavion Heights and throws Tank Ledger right to the left side, ducks, and then this is where we got Miles Bourne go for a drop kick because he did got tagged in. This is where we got Miles Bourne and try to go for a pin, only to get denied at a near fall of 2.8. Was it? This is where we got Miles Bourne and picks up Tank Ledger. This is where he tags in Tavion Heights. This is where he probably said, "Where?" This is where we try to go for. This is try to go for a headlock. This is where we got this is where we got Hank Walker start going for strikes to throw him right to the left side, go for a back elbow. Then we got this is where we got Hank Walker try to go for a splash onto Miles Bourne. This is where he hits a running bulldog on him because why not? This is where then. But this is where we got what's the name? Hank Walker then ends up going to the outside, trying to see what exactly the illegal man's doing, which was with another Tavion Heights and hitting the top rope crossbody onto the No Quarter Catch Crews minions. This is where we got. This is where Hank walked out. Yeah, I got right where I want. This is where they hit the sandwich meat in the middle body attack. This is where we got. This is where somehow Miles Bourne goes right off the top rope, jumps over and hits a dive onto them that way. This is where we got. This is where we got the partial powerful force in all of pro wrestling came on, which was the picture-in-picture version of the commercial break. But once we got done with the adverts, this is where we got. It looked like that But and this is where we got what's his name? This is where we got Tank Legend, and he had his shirt rip off his jersey, but this is where he ends up going for clothesline. But this is where then what's the name? Try to hit a clothesline, Mr. Tavion Heights. He hit one. This is where he tried to go for a pin. He might have gotten away with it if it wasn't for Hank's rhyming buddy Tank's rhyming buddy, I should say, Hank. Excuse me for a moment. Oh, is that baby? Okay. Everybody's full of kitty chicks. Like kitty chicks attending a wrestling event and announce it in advance. Okay, I'm kidding. And reveal a secret. Okay, I'm kidding. Okay, I need to shut up. What was the last time you beat a baby there? I think it was like a few hours back, yeah. It is time for something. All right. Check. I love baby. They're so adorable. It's like a princess baby. Okay. They're gonna be so adorable. I just want to do a little cosplaying there. Oh, no. You're probably out of time to probably do like this too. It was very adorable. You know, look like her cousin, the little princess. His grandson, his youngest grandson, look like. I think it's all your fault, SpongeBob. You know, I think you like a little lion. I think it looks like. Look like his little eating buddy cut. I go, no bird. Don't you back at me. Candy chips. Why? I think candy chips. Get in there, beastly. Like, you need a nice lobster, a solitary confinement. You need a nice lobster, a solitary confinement. Get in there, beastly. You need a nice lobster, a solitary confinement. Super Ninja Austin. Super Ninja Austin. Okay, excuse me, assassinator. I apologize for the delays. Back to the review video. We continue. Let's see. What's next? I believe. Oh yeah, it was a tag team gauntlet match. This is where once we got Hank Walker that saved the day. This is where he ends up getting thrown right over the top rope into the right side. This is where he flips right there, right in front of the announcer's face. This is where then we got Tavion Heights then try to put him up right into its shoulders for another Death Valley driver maneuver, which he trying to still look like your boy with the mask. But yeah, but this time it was with Tavion Heights that trying to look like your other boy, the Viper. This is where he tried to go for the DDT, but this is where we got Hank Walker then drags him out of the ring. This is where then we got Tavion Heights like, oh, what's going on? This is where distraction worked because this is where we got Tank Ledger gets the surprise rope of the most devastation of all of pro wrestling. This is where then we got Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen, our club, Josh Briggs and his partner Yoshiki Inamura just came in and just started cleaning the floor with him until we got Hank Walker in a right hand, which I believe that was a massive mistake. If he's not going to take him, this is where Josh Briggs like, okay, you want to hit me. Let's try like that. Do it again. This is what we try to do. This is where we got Hank Walker does it again. This is where we got what's his name? Josh Briggs how about hit me in the neck? This is where he's like, oh, you can't. This is where he's like, how about I can hit you with yours when he boot him into that area. He's just throwing him right to the left side. This is where fans are saying, let's go Hank with Josh Briggs. A sidewalk slam and a big splash right in the middle of the ring. This is where we got Josh to try to go for a pin, but only for Hank to kick out. This is where Josh Briggs like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is where Corey Graves noticed, while looking into their little screen of seeing the cameras facing Nathan Frazier and Axiom, with them watching their little monitors of the match and who's going to be the next number of contenders. Here's where Josh Briggs then goes for a chokeslam onto Hank Walker, right onto the knee of Mr. Yoshiki Inamura. When he tried to go for a pin, they probably would have been the number one contenders if it wasn't for the meddling the rhyming buddy with Mr. Tank here, because he came in like a mini army tank and just crushed over Josh. And this is where then what's the name was. This is where we got Hank Walker was thanking his buddy. This is where he's like, don't mention it. I always have your back. This is where then we got. This is where Tank Legend is like, yeah, this is where he hits it with a knife-edge chop, even though he's not from that rival company. But Gunther must have put him. He hit him so hard, he probably got the number 5th place spot now. This is where we got Yoshiki and the more double Irish whip with Josh Briggs against Hank Walker. This is where only for Hank Walker then pushes Josh Briggs right into what's his name to Yoshiki. This is where he's like, oh no, like no, like what? Why'd I do that for it? You know, like typical tag team stuff. Like when it comes to unfortunate accidents. This is where we got Hank Walker goes for the what's it called inside cradle for the 1 2 3. Yoshiki and Amore was too late. This is where then both Vic Joseph and Corey Graves were shocked. They're like, they actually did it. Like no way. Like they did. This is where you would never thought that this tag team would never ever. You would never thought that they would ever would win, especially in this manner. But they started as number one and they end up winning the whole thing. And yeah, a round of applause is why he's getting the golden trophy of the best wrestling match of the night. And they totally deserve this honor, like with them working hard for the last couple of years as a tag team, which they finally starting to get the spotlight as they deserve in the tag team division. And hopefully they do win and become the new tag team champions. But nothing against Nathan Frazier and Axiom. I'm just thinking maybe this should be the tag. If it's not gonna be the Hardy Brothers, like how about we do? Yeah, it'll be this team of Hank and Tank, which they're very underrated and they look like a team that looks material enough to get that time. But this is where I got Stevie Turner was giving some advice to this women's wrestler. That's basically a main eventer of Evolve, and she's going to main event on the latest episode of Evolve, which was when this is where she was saying I think she's going to be a future champion. This is where then we got and this is where then he's like, and yeah, just like these guys, this is where then Robert Stone, for the first time, agreed with Stevie Turner, who was like, yeah, I just see them, it's exactly like your boy SNA just said right here. This is where then, this is where he got, what's his name? Stevie Turner was like, but don't we got another one? I'm still wondering, we got the final women that's going to be in the qualified. That's going to be the sixth member in the line. This is where then Ava was like, as a matter of fact, I found the last two, what's it called, two competitors that's going to be fitting in that spot if one of them wins tonight. This is where then Robert Stone was curious and they started asking who is this person? This is where Ava's like yeah. Don't worry, it's a surprise. You'll see where it's where Rob Stone's like, okay, that's fine. It's where then Stevie confirmed that she's teasing us right now. But it's where we got the underboss Channing Stacks Lorenzo with the rest of the D'Angelo family, except for Tony D'Angelo. Then step out in the parking lot from their car, and then it's where they're waiting for what they call the dark state to come out, and they can could start things there. But it's where they showed a little progressive what they call the progressive sponsored vignette with Jada Parker, which he basically talked about her time as a child, with her having a close relationship with her father, with with this what they call this daughter and father bond, for every little princess had with their little with their father, yeah, they were best buddies, but she was more friends with her uncle. However, especially when it comes to sports, which she was like I don't think my first favorite sport was football, but since I couldn't do it at the time, I end up doing the next best thing. That was soccer, which he basically explained. This is where they showed her in pictures with her parents and including her father and her uncle, and this is where that she said, unfortunately, she lost her uncle, due to a very sad accident, and that, and she was like, and since I lost the first person I trust, who else I could trust, there's really nobody that, which she was very emotional when it come to talk about that, which you could blame her because, you would be doing the same if you lost a loved one in your family. That was a true companion and a good buddy to hang around. Yeah. If I'm stating this correctly, but anyways, yeah. But next up, we got the D'Angelo family. Then came out. This is where they've gone at with the Dark State, which even though it was a 2-on-4 situation with what's his name against these guys. This is where they still was managing to bring the fight to them. This is where we got. That's what, but it was difficult at first with them. But this is where once we got one of them was trying to hit Channing Stacks Lorenzo with a steel chair. Stacks grab onto the chair, grab it away from snatching. This is where then what's name Luca Crucifino came from behind a chair shot him right in the back. This is where we got this big, tall one, then tags both of them from behind. This was security trying to hold him, bring him back, but this is where one of them, he elbows one of them and then chokeslammed the other right through a table. Boom! And then this is where we got Channing Stacks Window, Luca Crucifino grab onto this Dark State member, back suplexed him right into the other table, right diagonal. This is where we got this other tall one that had dreads. Then they're like, you don't know anything about me. This is where they try to whack at both Luca and Channing, but this is where then they move out of the way. Smart move. This is where they double speared him right into this paper plate wall, like which went right through. This went right into this other room. This is where security tried to break him back. This is where they're breaking him up. This is where we got. This is where the Dark State they started. This is where This is where they were trying to blind the D'Angelo family, and this is where one of them then blind the one of their teammates, which I believe was the tallest one. At Channing and Luca double back suplex, like he accidentally got him instead, which accidentally got him, like which I'm not sure if that was an error or if he meant to do that, but this is where we got this is where we got our fight in the parking lot. This is where we got. This is where we got the tall one, like the Snake Eyed. What's that? Channing Stacks window right into the garage door of the performance center. This is where we got Dion Lennox and the other one that was shooting what's it got, a fire extinguisher. Then double Uranagi slammed Luca Crucifino right in the hood of a car. It was like what? Like what you are now? This is like what? Like what are you gonna do? What you said there? This is where we found got Tony D'Angelo came in. This is where he pulled up right in the middle of the parking lot, grabbed onto his crowbar, started whacking all four of them and sent them packing. This is where we got this is where the police came here, but it was because of Tony D'Angelo that called him. This is where Channing Stacks was like, oh, we got to go too. And this is where it's like, no, I called him here. He confirmed, rest assured, his right hand man and underboss. This was like, but why'd you do this behind my back? Like I had a plan, dude. Like, why you didn't follow my. And this is where then he was like, well, they disrespected me, but maybe I should have just waited. This is where then Tony D'Angelo was like, yeah, you should have listened to me in the first place. And then this is where he's like you did whatever this is. Like I was trying to handle business to do it where it's supposed to be handled. Listen, like we all want the Dark State and try to get some justice, but we're not gonna do it in some street, like in some kind of parking lot, like for some hood hooligans. And then this is where then he continued, like we're gonna be doing this in front of the entire world, and that's gonna be in the biggest stage of NXT. Now to stand and deliver, which Luca and Adriana then start agreeing, like, yep, like that's what we should do it. That's where they're like, yeah, hell yeah. And this is why I think this is the perfect way to do it. Like where we can have the Dark State taking on the D'Angelo family. I'm all in for it. But that's another match that probably was added for Stand and Deliver, which I'm gonna talk about in just a moment. But this is where we got. That's where the Tony was like, I'm the head of this. Like I'm the head of this family. Like remember that, Stacks, and do not question me of my plans, like especially when it's supposed to be do not do this again, like when it comes to come up with a plan that's foolproof, that's gonna help solve our problems. Like, do I make myself clear and do you understand me? This is where Chase that took a second to say, like, I understood, like in the response, like, which I wonder, like, this is gonna lead up into some kind of a heel turn and down the road. Perhaps it would, given the fact that Channing Stacks Winzo been doing this a bit too much of doing things his own way, and it ends up backfiring onto him. Like, and I think this is what's gonna get into him, and this is what's gonna lead up into a heel turn down the road. And when do you think it's gonna be when it's heel? Which I'm gonna talk about that some other time, but yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. Like you just feel that it's gonna be a heel turn, given that they've been look giving that stare, like if it's about to be like if they're gonna be off, they're gonna be not on the same page, I should say. Yeah. But moving on, we got this is where we got last but not least, we finally got what's her name. This is where we lead up into what's her name? Uh, Stephanie Vaquer, like when they showed her, like when she came back as a double champion in her home country of Chile, if I'm not mistaken, Chile, like the South American country, like in yeah, of course, where Stephanie's from. But this is where that she saying like she said like she finally made the WWE, like which is a childhood dream of hers, and then she even said like one years ago when she was very little, like when she told her dad like that she wanted to become a wrestler. And then this was like he obviously got worried, like yeah, like I believe that's what all fathers do, like about like when their kids ask that they want to be a professional wrestler because they know the high risk of the of what they're gonna get into when they sign their contract in the dotted line, and also and also but especially if you're a girl, of course, like yeah, then yeah, they're gonna be very worried about their princesses of getting into the business. But anyways, but he told him like she's gonna be a double champion. That's what she ended up doing. So she was the first ever NXT women's wrestler to do so. But this is where then she came from a child like but this time like she had like a big surprise for everybody. This is what she like, and she got a replica championship like to give to her family like when she came back home. That that she won in just the belt like that. It's a replica version of the title that she won in WWE, and she's so blessed. She feels so blessed to be. This is where she was in the news station, like on their home in her country, like holding the NXT Women's Championship. She was a special guest, and yeah, like that was probably really great for yeah, to say that yeah she was basically like was on top of the world at this situation. And And this is what she's like, and she stands for her Chilean people, which as she should, like because I believe now she's the first ever Chilean female wrestler, and not only just the first ever double NXT Women's Champion, but also yeah that as well as a Chilean wrestler of doing so. Yeah, but anyways, and this is what she said she's gonna promise to continue to do the same. Bring more of her people to this industry, like in the foreseeable future. And she was like, she will always keep it to this name high. And then this is where they showed her taking pictures with everybody in her family, like which that was pretty awesome and pretty cute, I guess you could say. But But that's where we got a backstage interview with what was her name? Kelly Kincaid, like with her special guest at that time was what's the name? Tank and Tank, like because they're the new number one contenders for the NXT Tag Team Champions. That's where they start hyped up, like, yeah, we did like like we knew who we are, we know who we not, and that is us. Like we never changed that, and that's what helped us got the success. Like, and we did it in the ring. We took that tag team opportunity, and we just used it for our advantage. Like yeah, we did it to our ambitious, belly booming twist. Yes, that's what he said. And that's where the Fraxium came in and they congratulated. Well, Axiom did, of course, but this is where they were like, yeah, wow, like what can you have here? Like y'all finally found yourself. What Axiom said, you like now you're finally going to be challenging us for those tag titles at the biggest stage of the year. And then this is where then Axiom was like, and this is going to be against the best tag team. We're looking forward to that. And this is when they first like, yeah, I knew you could do it the whole entire time, which I guess that is somewhat of a lie because he was kind of doubting that they would immediately get these tag team title opportunities and start saying some very harsh stuff, even if it is true about Hank and Tank at that time. So it's very, yeah, hard to agree with Nathan Frazier for saying these things about saying he knew he could do. And that's where then Axiom didn't call him out for Frazier for claiming that he believed in him from the very beginning. But this is where then Axiom's like, "How that possible when you gave him the worst advice that you could probably ever give to anybody?" And then Frazier's like, "No, I didn't. I just run the entire golf. You ain't run the entire golf. Like I knew the and but this where they made the situation worse by saying yeah, like you made the whole entire gauntlet like from the start, but this will let you know that you're gonna do it all in vain. Which that was probably the worst thing to say to your opponent, even if you believe that you're going to be the winner. Like that's not what you would want to say to your opponent. But this is where Frazier then walk right out of there, like with all the cockiness in the world. With that's gonna we're gonna be talking about, and we're gonna be break it down like in just a moment. But this is where but I want to ask you this question before I move on to the next slide. What was your thoughts on this segment, and do you think that we could be seeing like title change and perhaps a split like between the reigning defending tag team champions? Let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, and this one we got what's his name? And doing the Roxanne Perez is like I deserve to be a shot at winning women's gold. And this is where what's his name? That's where then Robert Stone to start giving her some compliments, being like, yeah, you're the most decorated and the most what they call it, well influential women's star in this business. Like and yeah, like and out of like a top in the top four women like in a match, like you should get a shot. And this is where she's like, yeah, I should get that spotlight. And this is where then Ava's like, okay, if you're all that good, like where's your tag partner? You found him, and this is where Roxanne plays like, yep, like it's me. And I'm like, first of all, like you cannot be your own tag team partner. This would even Stevie Turner even said as well. She was saying like you can't be your own tag. This is where Ava's like, yeah, like I know he can't be that. This is where like I really want this guy got the partner. This is where then Cora Jade then came in like during the argument like between Roxy and Ava. This is where it was none other than Roxanne Perez's own best friend. It was Cora Jade. This is where I was I just want to come here to say perhaps me, which Roxanne didn't really say anything. And I wonder what this tag team match is all about. Like, let me know in the comment section right down below. What do you think they're doing with this tag team match? Which it's kind of confusing. Like, I never ever got a chance to understand the context of the matter. Like, on what kind of tag team match is this? Like that they're gonna be having with Roxanne and Cora Jade. It kind of sounds mysterious, something that you would play on a my career mode kind of situation. But moving on, we got Ashante Diadonis was coming out in the ring with Carmen Petrovic, which is his kayfabe girlfriend here on NXT. But yeah, this is where then she was about to compete against Thea Hale. But before we got the match, this is where we got a teaser of a faction reviving, even though they're missing one member of the group, maybe two actually to be exact, but one major one. But this is where then we got the Dark State that's going to be taking on the D'Angelo family. Ricky Saint's going to be taking on Ethan Page. We got what's his name? Hank and Tank against Fraxium. We also got a fatal four-way match between Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker. And then we got for the NXT Women's Championship, we got and then we got the Women's North American Championship ladder match. We got the This one got a fatal four-way tag team elimination match, which the winners get the challenge for the women's tag team championships. I believe that's what it was a fatal four women's tag team match, I believe. So I think that's the tag team match, which is going to feature Roxanne Perez and the Roxanne Perez and what's her name, Cora Jade, and then the Meta Girls of Lash Legend and what's her name, Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson and what's her name, and what the JC Jane and what's her Fallon Henley and of Fatal Influence and what's her name Gigi Dolan and what's and Tatum Paxley. That's who it was. And let me know in the comments who's gonna be the winner. And I think I see what exactly they're leading this up to. Like, yeah, like which they say winner gets to face the women's will challenge for the women's tag team championship, making it probably a triple threat tag team match between Bailey and Lyra Valkyria against and Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Which I see like where they're leading this up to, which I'm gonna say this is gonna be tying in for that match. Like which I'll say that makes sense. I see what WWE is doing because I believe the women's tag team champions are going to be on the second night. So that would make sense if they lead up into this path. But here's where we got Kel Dixon and what's the name? Kel Dixon and Uriah Connors. Yeah, Uriah Connors and Kel Dixon. Then say like, come on, I really get this Chase U thing back and rolling again. Like no matter what we're talking, this is where the Andre Tate's like, yeah, like, but I'm nervous right now. What if I ruin your lives like I did to the others? Like, and they're no longer here, which that's just that it's a doubting situation that that scared nervousness that's leading to doubt, like that you can't do it when you can. This is where then we heard a younger female's voice saying like you didn't ruin my life, and this is where it was none other than Fallon. I mean, not what's her name? What's her name? Thea Hale. This is where she was like you didn't ruin my. This is where she gave us about like teasing that they should do this revive. And this is where she's like, you got my blessings, Chase, to revive this. Just do it. Like this is where it gave. This is where then what's that? Kel Dixon. Then they're like, you're gonna be rejoining the Chase U group, and this is where then that's where lit some underneath Andre Chase of giving us one more go, and this is where, but unfortunately they got Thea Hill's like no, like but I am a very proud alumni though, like which I believe somewhere down the road we will be seeing. We could see her back into the Chase U group, but. And this is where then Andre Chase was asking the question like, "What are you gonna be doing?" There, this is where she was like, "I'm gonna be challenging for the women's North American Championship in that ladder match by qualifying tonight's match." And I'm hate to be a spoiler here, but let's just say that ends up being the case. I can see why that she did what she did. And this is where then she shouted like that she's a grown ass woman. Like as soon as she got up into the stage, say like letting her know that she's gonna get this, she's gonna get the time to shine. Like which that's a very hard choice to see who's gonna be the women's the women's North American Championship, which that's very hard to speculate right now, but yeah, like, but the one thing's for sure about the women's tag team championships part, they're finally going to get that story, even though it's going to be in a tag team manner, but at the same time, like, it does make sense when it comes to the paper, like on the dude, like Roxanne Perez could win with her best friend Cora, yeah, take on one of the arch rivals like that we thought she was going to fight, but I think this is probably going to be the best WrestleMania ever, and I'm going to talk more about this probably in the next 3 days. Like when I reviewed the WrestleMania edition of SmackDown, but moving on, we got Thea Hale taking on what's her name? Taking on Carmen Petrovic, which I'll give the bronze trophy of the night because this was fantastic, like in a way, like both of these women were trying to win the shot. This is where and I'll say, like, I see why that Thea Hale has been absent for the last few months. Like, maybe she's trying to improve her skills and her abilities in the squared circle because she was showing that right here in this match and in this match against what's her name, Carmen Petrovic in particular. This is where she after hitting some arm attacks, she had to run a hip attack, and then she had to explode suplex. Like, if she's her own version of Becky Lynch, like she just knew exactly her game is. Like this is where then the Carl Petrovic then like, oh my god, like this like she's more she's more brutal than the last time I faced her if I ever fought her in a match. This is where we got what's her name? Thea Hale try to go for suicide dive, only get roundhouse kicked by the what they called the by this female samurai. This is where she hits a spinning face first right into the canvas. Where then she tries arch whip to the bottom right side. This is where she gets countered. She goes springboard draw, super kick, or this is where she goes for a discus clothesline, which she must have learned from her mentor, the Queen of Hearts herself, which is Natalia, of course. But this is where then she did start hitting some right hands after she unsuccessfully go for a pin at 2.7. Was it? This is where then she was like, "Come on, Thea! Like I thought you were more better than this. You were showing me that in the first half of this match." But this is where then we got Karen Petrovic to start going for some roundhouse kicks, only for her to get stopped by Thea Hale with her hitting a big devastating headbutt, which that probably would help her out here. This is where then, because she ducks out of Karen Petrovic's clothesline, hits a running axe handle running from the right side. Then she hit a second one on top of that. This is where then she hits a duck wrist lock and then go for a kick right into the right knee, hits a runaway clothesline. And Thea held and ran right to the right corner side. Then go for a spinning neck breaker, just twisting Carmen's neck right into the right side in the process. This is where she onto the Canadian Samurai. Then just starts shaking onto the ropes, which is starting to be catchy for anyone to do these days when they're all hyped up. This is where we got Thea Hale to go for a rolling flip right into the rope. This is where that she does it in the bottom corner, without the only ropes that she haven't yet to do. This is where she goes for a springboard, little senton maneuver, looks similar to the coffin drop. Then we got Thea Hale to wait for Karen Petrovic to get up so she can hit the spinning double underhook, spinning what's it called, arrow drop. This is where fans start chanting for Thea afterwards, Thea. And this is where she made Carmen Petrovic's tap, which the same Carmen Petrovic that hardly tap out made her tap out with her Kimura lock, which is a finishing maneuver that she started using for the last 2 years under her arsenal. And this is where she made her tap out with her twisting and clutching that arm. Winner of this match, Thea Hale. This is where we saw the likes of Lola Vice, Zarya, Soruka, Izzy Dame, and Jordan Grace was not Jordan Grace. Kalani Jordan was sitting in the audience. Is where they showed them on the screen what's going to be the match at Stand and Deliver, which I'm going to get into more details onto that in just a moment. But yeah. But let's move on. This is where we got what they call a three-way segment between Trick Williams, Obafemi, and what's his name? And Javon Evans. This is where then we got what's his name? Mike Rome then ends up announcing Trick Williams as one of the guys that's going to be in this triple threat NXT championship match. But Booker T's like, yeah, that's my boy Trick Willie, and that's where the Trick Williams then was oh, I've been doing a lot of thinking now, boys. I was thinking about who the hell I am, and then this is where he's a couple years ago, the young OG come here comparing me to one of my old friends, and that is none other than Carmelo Hayes, and that's where fans start to whoa, yeah, he's right, you're acting like this. And that's why the Trick Williams continue on this promise, but I get what he's saying though. You either die as a hero or you're gonna live longer and then become the villain. And that's I guess. And he was like, but the thing is, I'm more of the hero side and I'm still alive. And he's like, that almost rhymes, so that has to be true in some capacity. This is they say heavy is the head that wears the crown. In Oba, your head may be there in the throne, but Saturday night, I'm coming back to get that crown, dog. And then this is where have the cheering, there's plenty of mixed reactions from that. This is in Javon, look, maybe next year for you, young OG. This is where then Obafemi come out because that. For him to claim that he's still the leader of the Whoop That era, and this is where, he knows the rules in professional wrestling. If you call somebody out, if somebody call by a wrestler's name, they're gonna need to come out and see what the hell they want, which is on page 1408. And the open fence, it's funny now, you still talking about you're the man around here. So guess what, Trick? You're not the man, in reality, but you really are, is the buck. Like there's still that same buckle bum that's doing the same hits with the fans out there, whoo, and that's where then Trick Williams then pointed that out, like about the fans hooting, like if they're that gorilla tribe warriors, like from the Black Panther film, which I'm gonna get into more about that in just a moment. And it's like I'm gonna be over and over, like again, and nobody's gonna be singing along, like because you're the only one who's still whooping that trick. And this is where the Trick Williams start cracking up, like in the end of stuff. And our fans are chanting, "Whoop that trick!" And that's where the other half are chanting, "Woo!" Because they're both like they're both very catchy wrestlers with two of the most iconic NXT catchphrases in all of WWE. Oh, really? Yeah, that's really great. I'm hoping they're liking this podcast video right now because I talk about everything WWE related, like on this channel, and then everything movies and animation on the other channel. Which I'll say I also talk about the competition on this channel of WWE's and also like NFL stuff, like when it's the season for it, especially my boys in back-to-back Super Bowl Chiefs. But that's a different video for a different day. But anyway, this is where we got Obafemi continues like. And and he was like, "Yeah, like this is gonna be your last chance of ever getting an opportunity for the NXT championship this Saturday at Stand and Deliver." And then it's where it is like, because when I'm done with you, Trick, I'm gonna be moving on as well, like as you are. This is where Trick Williams to try to correct him, saying like, "But here's the thing is, like we all good, right? Like your braids might be good, but your braids might be also too tight, right?" And he was like, and that's still they still chant whoop that trick around the world, dog. That's talking about something. Let's talk about it. Or something like that, yeah. And this is where fans like clap, yay, when he said are chanting whoop that trick, while the other half fans of Obafemi to say, who? And this is where like, Oba, what you got? Like you still call yourself the ruler? Like you're the ruler, didn't you? Like, and he was like, and it takes a few, and that's where when you acknowledge the Black Panther film, like with that sounds similar to like those little hoop chants, like from those gorilla tribe guys that, like like would sound like hoo. That's where he's like, it takes like more than he's like, it takes more than just Black Panther chants, like. To be the man of NXT around here. This is where the Obafemi fans that hate that they are booing him. He's like, and this where he's like, yeah, it looks like you've been struggling, like, since I let you hold on to that towel. I'm like, okay, I hate to be Connor the corrector here, but like you didn't let him win that championship. Like the only thing you did was made a big mistake of not hitting him with the trick shot. But Obafemi ends up hitting you with the pop-up powerbomb jiggy maneuver and took advantage of the moment of your mishaps. But yeah, that's gonna be a different conversation for a different day. But anyways, and where the Trick Williams is like, yeah, like I'm gonna make sure to help you out and everybody else out. This is where this is where what's that Javon Evans music started playing. This is where he's like, hey, cut the music. We got something to say to Trick. And Trick, like please, like for our well-beings and our sake, shut the hell up. Sound like that former wrestler from WWE that's now in the other company known as a teacher or something. Well, about to quit that position, I guess you could say, like because like it seemed like his tutelage, like to his students, is not quite working like it did when he very first started being a teacher. But anyways, this is where then we got now you tell me you just keep talking about week after week after week after week after week after week, like and he said it like about 10,000 more times. Like you keep talking about a match that you deserve, like, and I don't just see it, like there's something wrong going on here, like, and I just gotta put my finger on it, like I'm gonna tell you the basic part of it. Like we're just completely tired of it. Like we're just like you're gonna keep talking like that. Get the hell out of this ring. But if you're just trying to talk like and trying to make sense here, please talk about something else. Like this is where he's like you know enough. I already feel about you, Trick. Like you may be dismissed, but like, we want to talk about something. Let's talk about the ruler now. Like this is where fans start hooting. Like this is where Javon Evans started imitating this chant, like whoo, and then this is where he's like, yeah, you ruler, like I ain't gonna lie, like. Hitler fans are chanting, oh, but he's like, yeah, that's cool. Like, yeah, like that's cool. Like you could do like and look, Oba, like we like the real OG recognize the other fellow real OG. Like, am I right? Like you've been chewed like or glued like to a championship ever since you got to NXT. Like ever since you got it from a year and a half ago. Like you attract success. Like you just attract it. Like and every time you step foot in the room, like everybody knows who the hell you are. Oh, and this where he's like, I'm not trying to be a smart ass, like though, like, but he's like since I dropped you right into the ground, I was high about you, and it was like because he's like because like at the end of the day, I didn't drop a regular wrestler here in NXT, but that's a term like wrestler starting to be more common these days. But yeah, this was like I didn't only did that, like I dropped a champion, I dropped the man. I dropped the champion, the face of NXT, and that's real talk. And this is where the open fans like, yeah, that may be real talk, but you know, we better not like. I'm not gonna catch that you doing that ever again. And well, like let's just say, like you, let's just say that like you, like that what's name was horribly mistaken, Mr. Obafemi here when he said that. But we're gonna talk about that in just a moment. We're gonna divide up. Yeah, we're gonna go here like Oba. Like if we're gonna finally see Obafemi main eventing, main eventing a stand and deliver, like and he's like and likely like probably down the road in the foreseeable future, we're gonna see you main event at WrestleMania, and it's not like and he was like, it is not an if, it's when you get drafted. Like, whether if it's a Raw or a SmackDown, like, you have that potential. Like, come on, Big O. Like, yeah, come on, champ. Like, yeah. You know, over him, like, yeah, like, he's like, this was like, you know, like, you did that. This is where, but then, Javon Evans was like, I did that? Like, no, like, you're like you're from the University of Alabama, and this is where Obafemi's like, yeah, that's real talk right there. I got it. Then it's like, yeah, you're road, like you're on that road time. Like, yeah, this is where he did in the hyped up voice. This is where it's like, I mean, bro, like, look here, like you're supposed to get to Raw or SmackDown and become a great star. Like, but you. But but the problem I have with you right now, Ob, is with you walk around the performance center, like you come and walk around in NXT, like it revolves only to you. Like, well, I'm gonna be dead ass with you, bro. And this is where he continues saying, like this kid from North Carolina, this kid, I was not supposed to meant to be in WWE right now, but look at me now. And he's like, and guess what I did? Like, I did that. I joined WWE. I was like, yeah, amen. Like, yeah, I know that's right. Like yeah, right. You look like you made it seem at first look like a guy supposed to belong into this company, but he ended up making a way to the stage, which I'll say a full course of round of applause for that. Like if you have a dream, you go ahead and chase that and get to your destination where you need to be. But it was like, yeah, like you think you think you're the favorite, like stuff, yeah, like you that may be true, but the little thing you know, bro, like that's how I like it to be. Like, and this was like Yerk, and this is where fans start saying along with like Yerk, and I start cracking up. I'm like, yeah, definitely getting the golden trophy of Goofy Wrestling of the Night on that one. But this is where then Obafemi to start chuckling like, like. He was like, give a round of applause of Javon Evans, everyone, which I totally agree. I would start clapping myself as well. Which who could blame him for saying that? That had to be an out of character moment when they said that. This is where the Obafemi then went back to character. He's like, okay, now this is what 20 years look like. And like, yeah, I get, yeah, you're 20 years ago. Like you had Like, and I gotta admit, like, you had a phenomenal rookie year, and I was like, if anybody knows about phenomenal rookie years, like, and then the ruler himself, I'm like, yeah, like they both did, especially last year when Obafemi was the breakout star winner and he cashed in on the North American Championship, and then what's name was making a high staking name for himself as well, like literally and figuratively, Mr. Javon Evans. But this is where, yeah. Can you give me some? It's where it's like, but yeah, you're gonna be a future world champion here and the main roster. Like, but that future's not here yet. It's the present. Okay, I'm coming. Come on, Trey. Okay, let's go.
Well, just don't drink it up. Just save some for dinner.
Okay. You can drink some now, but put the rest on the table for dinner. Like your mom said.
Trey, no. You're gonna drink it that, or you're not getting nothing else. Hey. What? You took me out. So why did you scare me? All right, Trey, move so she can come in. Drink that juice, Trey, because you're not getting no more, you're not getting no less. Drink it. I can't get it.
Oh, what is it now? Can you just be satisfied for that? Anyways, assassinators, this is where we got. As I was just saying, this is where Obafemi started poking fun about what's his name's Javon Evans's chances of winning the NXT Championship triple threat match between the three of them. Like, and this is where then what was happening? It was well, yeah. Anyways, that's what I was saying. This is where. But it's where the Javon Evans like, I both knock you both out, and like, and he's like, I don't like, I like, and this is where then he was like, he was like, I'd knock both of you out, and if I could have a chance to do it again, I would. And this is where then, this is where Trick Williams and what's his name, and Obafemi then did the shrug emoji. They tossed Javon Evans down the outside. This is where they treated him like if he's the third wheel on the feud, like how Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley did the same with Io Sky, like, and she's the NXT Women's Champion, which I believe that's what Javon Evans is like in this situation. He's like the third wheel that everybody thinks he's not going to win. Only for he might have a chance where we got Javon Evans that came back in the ring, hits a double bouncy cutter right onto to both Obafemi and Trick Williams, like, and they were fighting right into with this cutter that he did, double springboard, and like boom, and this is where then he hits him like right into this is where he holds up the NXT championship. And this was, if it was any other time, I would think that Javon Evans probably not going to be winning. But it does have me convinced that he probably likely will. And that was the end of NXT at the end of the broadcast of the show. And yeah, and what were your thoughts on NXT on the Go Home show before before the show of Stand and Deliver, which is going to be on in the morning? That's very crazy, isn't it? But the good thing about it is, you give us assassinators some time to get a chance to enjoy NXT Stand and Deliver, and that will give your boy SNA some time to start doing his podcast and stuff. And then this is where we can see and then to tell you what exactly went down on the show, and then like hours later, I don't have to worry about watching watching WWE's WrestleMania on night one, and then make a review after that on that, and then yeah, that's crazy that night two's WrestleMania is gonna be the same day as Easter. That's crazy, isn't it? Like, which I will be making a review video, but it'll probably be late in the night, like, which I won't be doing no other podcast videos, only that one. Like, I'll say for 2 reasons I won't be doing the movie news video, and I have to move it on to Thursday, just like how Collision like moved from Saturday, like because the night one event like is gonna be probably too big to put on that show. Like, and yeah, it's like probably like a this is gonna be bigger than their 40th annual WrestleMania, like from last year. But let me know in the comment section right down below on what your opinions on what's exactly is gonna be the case at WrestleMania. But I'm gonna tell you like about like all my predictions, like what's gonna be the matches on the card for Stand and Deliver now. But before I do, I'm gonna say quickly, I'll give NXT's Go Home show. It's gonna, I might think I'm being kind of biased here, but I'll say it's not perfect, but still nothing bad. I don't think I've seen anything bad about tonight's NXT. I think that they like did a pretty good job, like when it comes to whether if it's rivalries or the underdogs, like getting their moments and whatnot. I would give it a perfect 5 stars, like because it's like probably one of the best. I'll say the best one in April, of course, but probably one of the best that I've seen in recent weeks as well. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts on NXT tonight. And also, yeah, if you like this video, please smash the like and the subscribe and post notification bell for more of SNA's videos. Also, subscribe on my other channel, SNA Entertainment. Link is in the description box below. But here's all my predictions on who's gonna be winning and losing. Okay, I'm coming. I see. Fine, I'm moving him. Calm down. I don't know what your deal is.
Thank you.
What you got? What this could be do? We're coming at the end. We're gonna stop that before. We're trying to back in. What this could be do? What's this could be do? Gonna follow you. We're gonna stop that before. Look back. You might find another clue. Scooby snacks. What's this Scooby do? I think the judge off. And if I do that, I'm gonna get it wrong. Even all you do is flex in with this and this. If I Hellcat flop it and take the gun on, people will be like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm gonna be going like 260. Why couldn't these open off? I really got these bitches. I got these bitches. So, just in case, I don't want to trip over my foot. There's a fight going on. Do you see? These motherfuckers is military grade dollars. These are not these are. Brady told me to tie him in the rack. So I did that, and look at this. Now I can't get it out.
Well, you wrapped it around the business.
And then pulled it through. And this shit knocks up way. Hi. I thought I heard you on the phone. Yes, she was. Remember you said hi to me when I called Uncle Jimmy. Of course you did.
Shut up.
No, it's all. Oh, shit. Disability termination. Oh, they fucking say you're approved. I had no idea. And then I hit in the head, so I said my back still hurts and my head hurts really bad.
Oh, this is for Julian. Did they put me in his dad book? We are the office that makes the disability decision for Social Security Administration. We are writing about doing alternative disability claims. Information is needed by the name and contact. I can help you do this within 10 days. Okay, I can help you do this. So, who do I send it to? Hold on, Mama. I'll just contact them and ask them what information they need.
Oh, you like Donald? Thank you very
As long
much.
as they have a voice contact my telephone.
I'm gonna call them.
So by the time first.
Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow.
There you go, baby.
Hey, Julie.
Yeah.
I wish. He lives here under any problem.
Let's go. Peanut.
What she knows doing is get into it. You're gonna put my name under this book. But not Kamir. Kamir lives with me too. So, pretty cool. Yeah, they want me to help you get more information for your disability. Yeah, I did. And you put it under my name? Mm-hmm. Okay. I think I did. Because I got the letter they want me to call within 21 days. Yeah, I just put within days. So I'm gonna call them and ask you what information. I'm gonna ask you what information you need. Yeah. Probably so.
They
Yeah.
never asked anything about.
But I'll do it. Remind me to call them. I will probably remind me to call them and ask them what information they need. Oh yeah, the disability thing. Yeah. I can call tomorrow when I get up. Yeah, if I do that. Okay, if you have to. At the end of the day, once we start getting money. Exactly. We can even pay rent. Exactly. Yeah. And then I can, yeah. So it'll be okay. I'll do that. I'll be fine. Yeah. Oh, did you?
I got the key.
That's right, Daddy. Right? He said, "That's right, man."
You want to get the key?
Grandpa. What is on my son's face? Oh, why put a receipt on his face? Why put a receipt on his face, Trey?
I did.
He probably, it was, he might have grabbed it. It was sitting on the bed next to him.
Or maybe, did nobody burp you yet? Yeah, I burped him. Yeah, I did. Before, yeah, you called me. I burped it to you like that. Like that. Oh, is your face okay?
I got the key.
You know that goes to something. You shouldn't have it. Oh, snap. Wow. I never called the lady back for the house.
Hi.
She said, Mr. Elliott, I'm so sorry. Are you busy?
Excellent.
So it's not too late. That shit's still morning. She got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because when I was DoorDash the other day, I drove past it on Friday. That deck wasn't even redone yet.
no, she's got to do that. And I told her, she said, how long? I said about a month or two. Like 2 months. That's what I told her. Yeah. But I know we ain't fill it up and do that. What the hell?
What the hell?
Oh, you got it.
Right.
That's right. I thought it was 140 for some reason.
It was 340.
Yeah, and I was trying to get more.
Wait, Joanne.
Yeah.
How did you get in here?
That's still pretty good.
How did you
I'm not explaining anything, Trey, but nothing. I'm sorry.
Stop.
How can you do that?
Stop.
How can you do that?
Stop playing like that.
What? Another one.
What's that noise? Trying to believe that.
Yeah.
I have
What? I'm break this down.
I
Break everything in here. And you know tell me what that was. No, they're not.
There, a what, loser? Loser, you get out.
No, you're not. That's a stupid ass Camaro. Now, what was
Dead,
thinking?
dead.
And how did you get this money? And why did you hurt and turn it off?
I didn't. You're the big ass finger flipped it.
It's a baby booty.
Hello. All right, I'm back here, Assassinators. Here I'm gonna be talking about all my predictions for Stand and Deliver, and that is start things off with the NXT Women's North American Championship ladder match, which features Zarya, Soruka, who else is gonna be Kalani Jordan, Izzy Dane, and then the last remaining members that's gonna be in the match, which is Thea Hale and Tatum Paxley. Yeah. Oh no, was it Lola Vice? No, it wasn't Tatum Paxley. It was Lola Vice. Lola Vice. Yeah, let me rephrase that. Lola Vice beat Tatum Paxley. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, it's gonna be like a part 2 when they very first introduced the Women's North American Championship back last year, which I already told you I made the review video of back a year ago, back in 2024, back in June, like which was 10 months ago. Yeah. Like, and we saw, yeah, obviously it was, Kalani Jordan was the first ever. She's probably going to be trying to make history of doing it, be the first ever woman to go back-to-back onto the situation of winning a vacant championship in the ladder match, which is the same championship she won. But I have a feeling that it may not be her. Probably going to be like an undercard, like underrated, I'll say, underdog. That would probably benefit off of this championship win if they can be lucky enough to climb up that ladder and retrieve the championship off the hook. I'll say that's what the one thing I would say that's what's likely going to happen. But how? Some of y'all are probably going to be saying how? Well, I'm going to tell you how. Like, and that is, I'll say it could be somebody like that's look like the overdog that's gonna be go through like they say like. But I think this is gonna be a complete cluster because this is every woman for herself. Like with them just start going at it and trying to stop the other women. Even like a Soruka and a very like a good pairing tag team like Soruka and Zarya start going at it and start trying to fight for the chance. There'll be like nothing personal about each other, but this is about like winning the championship, the Women's North American Championship. They can understand that, and who could be the other? I'll say we could see like a cocky heel like Izzy Dame could try to look like she's gonna get the win, only for somebody to stop her, like which it could be, I don't know, maybe between I'll say Lola Vice or Soruka. I'll say one of them in that debate. Maybe it could be, or maybe it could be. I think maybe we could see like Soruka could still win from Lola, and we can see her going up on the top, retrieving the NXT Women's North American Championship. She becomes the new Women's North American Championship. My final prediction, it's gonna be what's her name, Soruka, that's gonna win that championship. Next up, we got the 6-man tag match between the D'Angelo family of Tony D'Angelo, Luca Crusifino, and Channing Stacks Lorenzo, and this is where we can see like this match is actually going to happen, and it's going to be how Tony D'Angelo wants it to be, not like Channing Stacks Lorenzo, because after he does it, it always become a failure, and this is what I feel like that's what's going to be the same right here. He's going to try to take down the menacing faction, like on his own methods, I guess you could say. That's the best term I could put it. And then this is where Tony D'Angelo will get into a massive argument with him, saying like, no, like we already discussed this. Like even this past Tuesday, I told you not to step out of my orders like ever again. And this is where it's going to probably cost him the match, which probably like Tony D'Angelo will be paying the price, like even though he's not the one causing it. And it's where the Black State will get the W, like by pinning Tony D'Angelo. And my final prediction is going to be the Black State's going to win the 6-man tag match. And this is where we could get a fallout, like with Tony D'Angelo and Stacks, like whether if he reveals the heel turn. He'll turn this night or maybe the NXT afterwards. But yeah, either way, we could see like it Stacks Lorenzo be very disappointed. And then when he does do the heel turn, this is where he's going to attack both Luca and Tony. And then this is where I believe he'll start his own faction in a way, like something similar to like the D'Angelo family, but more villainous than Tony has ever been, like when he was a heel. But yeah, let me know about that down in the comment section right down below. And do you agree with your boy SNA here onto this theorized prediction? Like, yeah, let me know about that as well. But I'm not sure if you'll agree with me on this. But next up, we got the elimination tag team a 4-way match. Like winner gets a shot at adding to be a triple threat tag team match for Raquel and Liv's tag team championship. Also joining Bailey and Lyra Valkyria as challengers. And it features the Meta Girls as Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, Cora Jade and what's her name, Roxanne Perez, and Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan, and Fatal Influences, JC Jane and what's her name, Fallon Henley. Which, and since like the first person that might get eliminated and due to them not getting along, I would say I'm saying they're gonna fall out and they're gonna start shoving each other and they're gonna be teasing their splits. This is where it's gonna be a perfect distraction, though they'll be eliminated first. Second one, I'll say giving it to Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. Like, yeah, just given that they're look like sacrificial lambs in any situation, like, and look so clear that like either the Meta Girls or Roxy and Cora will get the W. Like, so they'll be eliminated first, and then it'll lead up into the Meta Girls and Roxy and Cora. Like, winner gets to be added, like facing Bailey, Lyra Valkyria, and Liv and Raquel. And they making the tag team match a triple threat, which that'll probably make it extra special and more interesting than ever. But yeah, this is where we can see like them going at it. What the Meta Girls look like, that they'll get a shot, and maybe this time they'll finally get their chances of getting that rub of becoming the new women's tag team championships if they can only beat the former NXT women's tag team champions. Is where the sad thing is that won't be happening, because we'll see the heels will find a way, whether if it's with miscommunications, like or one of the Meta Girls missing a spot maneuver, like whether if it's a finisher, signature, or regular move, only for them to take advantage of it, or maybe even like accidentally attacking the other teammate. Like, and this is where it gives like Roxy and Corey. I guess that's the nickname I'm gonna give them now. Like, and this is where then they hit their finishers respectively, or maybe one of them hit their finishers. If not the most devastating move in all pro wrestling, or whatever move to put down the Meta Girls, they win. My final prediction is Roxanne and Cora Jade. Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, they'll be added into the Women's Tag Team Championship match at Night 2's WrestleMania in April 20th. But I'll say next up we got the men's tag team match, like for the men's NXT Tag Team Championship, which will feature Fraxium against Hank Walker and Tank Ledger. But yeah, this look like that it's gonna be another night for the Fraxium boys, isn't it? Well, I'll say if it was any other night, I'll say maybe likely. But this is what it looked like that. I think that it would probably look like if Fate's not in the future of Hank and Tank, like looking like it's about to go downhill, like they're just like their dreams of becoming the NXT Tag Team Championships. But the thing is, this is where we can see a shocking twist, like with Hank and Tank with them. This is where then they'll not take a 3 count for an answer. No matter what move that the talented, high-flying, fast tag team would do, they'll still keep kicking out, and it'll continue to backfire on the Fraxium boys. This is where But once like that, when they try to go for like a final time, this is where we could probably see Hank and Tank then ends up like getting the upper hand, and this is where they'll hit their belly meet into the middle, and then this is where they'll hit that other maneuver, the finishers, that power slam shoulder block maneuver. Probably likely to Nathan Frazier because he'll probably be the one that'll be the cocky one to start bad mouthing and trash talking onto either what's their name? Onto either Hank or Tank, and then this is where this leads up into Axiom was like, his reaction will be like, "Yo, what the hell you doing? Like, you're not supposed to be doing that." This is where we can see this. They'll fall out like with an argument. This is where then they'll hit their finishers on the Nathan Frazier, and then this is where they get the 1, 2, 3. Like in shocking fashion, they're the new NXT Tag Team Champions. My final prediction, Hank Walker and Tank Ledger becomes the new NXT Tag Team Champions. And then this is where we can see probably similar to like the D'Angelo family, like we'll see like some physical versions of the fallout like between Nate and X. But let me know about that in the comment section right down below about it for yourself. But next up we got the North American Championship match now. It's Ricky Saints taking on what's his name? Ricky Saints taking on All Ego Ethan Page. And I would say like not just because like he was standing up tall, but for the fact that they're probably trying to make All Ego a megastar, like with him probably likely to win like the tag team championship, which will probably be one away from becoming a Triple Crown champion if things go his way. I think it'll probably be like an even situation, and then we see Ethan Page will go back in the upper hands until Ricky Saints go for a comeback. And here's where we could see him like hitting moves, even the spear itself, like he did tonight. And this would probably would still give Ethan Page the 2.9999999 miles born away being 3. And whether or not, like, if Ethan Page do something dirty, we could see him could have the upper hand at this point. And Ethan Page then hits that twisted grin maneuver, like when Ethan Page, when Ricky probably the least expecting it. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Well, what is it? It was. But yeah, I'm trying to think what's the name of it. I think what move be distracted. I think Ricky Saints will probably go for another maneuver, only for him to get hit right into the turnbuckle or the ropes or something like that. And then maybe like, or maybe we could see or we could see like what's that? All Ego Ethan Page could distract the referee, low blows Ricky right into the family jewels, or the Saints or Starks, whatever we call family jewels, and this is where he hits the twisted smile. 1, 2, 3. Your winner and new NXT North American champion. My final prediction goes to what's his name to what's his name to All Ego Ethan Page. That's what I meant to say, but yeah. Like my final prediction goes to him, but I'm trying to think what other. But let's move on to the next. Before I get into the next match, I want to say like, that's what I wanted to talk about. Ricky, this is where he'll be a man of his words. All Ego Ethan Page, like saying like, I'll give you a rematch, and then this time it'll probably be like some type of no DQ stipulated kind of situation. Like, and whether if Ricky Saints wins that match or not, like maybe this will be the right direction to have Ethan Page be the winner, like because it will help like maintain his relevancy of being on NXT until they give him a call up to the main roster. And who knows, maybe in the next event we could give the title back to Ricky Saints. Then we could see like Ethan Page get drafted over to the main roster, whether if it's Raw or SmackDown. Maybe get some type of revenge on Chick Magnet Punk, for, like quote unquote costing him his NXT championship about almost a year ago. But moving on, we got a. Next up we got like we got a 4-way women's match, like a singles 4-way match between the Juggernaut Jordan Grace and Miss Parker, Jada Parker. What's her name? The pretty hot mess. What's her name? The pretty hot mess. Julia and Dark Angel of Stephanie Vaquer, the champion for the NXT Women's Championship. And now, like maybe it's gonna be like anybody's game, right? Like you could see, like maybe we could see the like we could see like a young Jada could win her first championship in NXT, or maybe we could see a red hot Jordan Grace that just came from straight from TNA, now in NXT in WWE's developmental system, also known as, and she could be a champion to start off things in her WWE career with that. Or she can, or it could be like Julia getting back her title, becoming probably the fourth ever women's wrestler, become a two-time NXT Women's Champion. Or we could see Stephanie Vaquer could retain here. There's so many chances we could go directions. But I have a theory. Like we could see like all the women could really trying to get a chance of beating Stephanie, only for the other to screw them out of the match. This is where we can see like this could be the case with someone like Jada Parker and what's her name? Between Jada Parker and Jordan Grace, only for one of them the fall from the champ, like fall from Grace, like with one take them on out, like, and they thought they can still win, only for them to get hit with that double underhook backbreaker by the Chilean women's wrestler. Then get 1, 2, 3, like your winner, and steal the NXT Women's Champion, and that is Stephanie Vaquer. That's my final prediction. But that's not all, because this is where we got like Julia. That's probably did not got a chance for the end of the night. Like even though she might have had like at first, but only for her to get taken out like later on, like and this is where it looks like that Julia is gonna be celebrating with her, even giving back her NXT Women's Championship to her by saying like, yeah, congratulations, you deserve this, and she will probably retain it. This is where she like she's about to show a sign of respect to the Dark Angel, only for her to attack her when she was least expected. This is where she'll probably attack her. And yes, sir, ma'am, I am assuming, in predicting that Julia is gonna turn heel. And then she's gonna go wild on Stephanie Vaquer. That's where then it's gonna lead up into a new chapter. And I believe that everybody was right on NXT. This is not like just like WrestleMania. Like it's not gonna be the end of it. It's not gonna be the end of this. I'll say not era, but what's that? Like it's not gonna be the end of this chapter. I should say it's gonna be the beginning. Like it's just begun, and we can see Julia will say like, "I'm winning back this championship from you." That's where it could lead up into the NXT's next pay-per-view, which I believe it's NXT Battleground, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they could build things up until then, and then that's where we can see them battling out. And then as for the Jordan Grace and Jada Parker, like in case if somebody is like from them gonna be called up to the main roster, we can have them be writing out by with Jada or Jordan to beat them in an upcoming NXT event. Like as for this direction, which some just tells me it could be Jada Parker that's going to get that rub of getting called up to the main roster. Just saying, like the way things are looking at, she may not be like a former NXT Women's Champion if she does, like, but at the same time, she does look ready to be like getting into the next level in some capacity. But next up, we're going to end the video of this predictions with the NXT Championship, because it will main event Stand and Deliver, and then it features Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and the champ himself, Oba Femi. And it looks like that it could be one of these guys between Oba or even what's his name, Trick Wright. It seems like that it's gonna be like in a type of scenario that's gonna be like them just gonna. It's gonna be a type of scenario like that. It's gonna be like what's the it's gonna be like one of them, like because they're gonna keep taking out Javon Evans, right? Well, you probably think I'm being ridiculous on why I think that's going to happen. I think that, but don't get me wrong, that probably will happen. They think like if they easily take them out, they can just go after each other. That's where then we can see That's where we can see what that's where they can see like what we saw tonight. Even though like it seems like that Javon Evans is probably not likely going to win that stand and deliver. But here's the thing: like this is probably the one that's out of the 9 out of 10 kind of cards, like of them standing tall. But this is where we can see Javon Evans make a comeback. This is where he looked like he's about to win, only for one of them screw up, probably Trick Williams. This is where Trick Williams started taunting him, saying like you don't belong into this business. This is where then he started probably poking fun at him, like and saying that like you're just a kid. You're like, and it's like I said this past Tuesday, maybe next year, like then you'll be ready by then. Cause that's how I was like when I was in your shoes, like you told me about a few weeks ago. And this is where we can see Trick Williams about to hit the trick shot, only for probably to or Obafemi catches him. That's where they'll probably hit the pop-up power bomb. Only for like him trying to do the same with Javon Evans, but Javon Evans probably will intercept his grasp, hit the bouncy cutter right out of nowhere, goes for the cover, 1, 2, 3, and your winner and new NXT champion, and I believe the youngest champion in history, if I got my calculations right, because isn't he like 21? So yeah, he'll be probably the youngest NXT champion in WWE history. Like be something like a similar like an NXT African American version of Randy Orton. I would say like one of his it'll be like one of his idols, like when he became a world champion at his young age at 24. But yeah, but my final prediction is he becomes the youngest NXT champion in history, the young OG. And maybe down the if not that night or maybe down the road, we can see Trick Williams and reveal his true colors, and then this is where he'll probably attack Javon Evans, but maybe not on the stand and deliver night. Maybe they'll want him to ruin his momentum of like his first reign with the NXT Championship. So that makes sense to wait until the next night for the next. I would say on Tuesday, I should say, like 3 days after this, like and then we could do the heel turn and whatnot. Yeah, but yeah, Javon Evans becomes the new NXT champ. I believe that's what's going to happen. Let me know in the comments below what your predictions are, like, and let me know what is the reason for it too. But yeah, like, but make sure to check out my next video, which will be my wrestling news on April 16th, 2025. And I will be talking about the wildest and intriguing wrestling news stories, rumors that you assassinators need to know, which will probably be for the I'll say the what's it called, the Wrestle Talk article. Yeah, and make sure to check out my night one's edition of AEW Spring Break and Dynamite review show, which will feature like Will Ospreay taking on Konosuke Takeshita in the semifinals in the Owen Hart Cup men's tournament. And we got the hometown hero, or some might say villain, which I understand why, but it's the CEO, Mercedes Four-Belt Monet, will be taking on her latest arch rival of AEW, and that is Athena, which I believe is going to tie into like some kind of a arch rival in the football game. Like you got they got the home field advantage, like when they go to your house, and then if you got to go to their house, you're going to be fighting them in there, which I think is going to lead up into All In, because given that Athena's from Texas, she's from Dallas, as a matter of fact, and that's where in Arlington's like near that area, so that's technically her hometown. So yeah, so I would say I see what AEW is leading into. And yeah, we've been probably asking for this dream match for probably since they announced that AEW All In is going to be in Texas a year ago, when they were getting everything ready for when they were in England, like back in 2024. But yeah, this is where we can finally see like the CEO can finally get her revenge of the trash talk and the harassment from Athena. Like yeah, and probably put her in her place. Maybe she could even put her Ring of Honor Women's title on the line, which I hope that will be indeed the case for the lead up to AEW All In. Like, and we can see Monet could be a 5 belts Monet. Unfortunately, it probably won't be for the NXT one, well, at least not yet. And maybe that could be her 6th championship. That's a different conversation for a different day. But anyways, we also got a 6-man tag team match between the Death Riders, which John Moxley will replace Pac, like in a way, which I don't understand how, because I thought there was no substitute replacements that you can add on to the trios belt or any tag team related belts in the matter. So yeah, like some might say like that's a hypocritical move, but I don't blame Anthony for this, even though maybe I should. But I don't question his genius mindset. But anyways, yeah, I blame the Death Riders here, like in the power of the kayfabe, power invested into the kayfabe world. That it's the Death Riders' fault, like not trying to follow the rules, and this and they want to make sure they stay as trios champions, even despite one member is injured. And they'll do that by sacrificing John Moxley into that level. And they will be taking on the, what's that called? The ops of my boy Samoa Joe, my three boys, Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata. And hopefully that they do win and end this reign of disgusting toxic water. Hopefully they don't bring it to the second best city of the United States, that being Boston, Massachusetts, where they're going to be located at. And we're going to be seeing that tomorrow night. And I wish y'all a wonderful and an amazing night. And I'll see you next time with some more SNA content. Until you meet again, Super Ninja Austin, out of here. Bye-bye, my assassinators. I hope you all enjoyed my next upcoming videos. And I will see you guys there. Peace. And no, don't forget that AEW Collision is going to be on Thursday. That's going to be night 2 of spring break-in. But I thought I might let you know that as well. Like, and also the second reason why they're going to be on Thursday, because their WrestleMania Night 1 is going to be too busy to put it on the card. So yeah, I can understand why AEW doing what they're doing. So that means there's more wrestling for us, whether if it's WWE, AEW. We're going to be talking about here on the SNA podcast. Yeah, your boy Super Ninja Austin's ready for all that. But yeah, bye-bye for now, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. I never get old.